Hey everyone, welcome to the NC Unwrapped podcast, where we show you an inside look of what it means to unite people, place, and purpose in the Nelson County schools.
Hello Nelson County families and staff. Superintendent Wes Bradley here with our Director of Next Generation Schools, Laura Arnold. And we're here to talk a little bit about some of the work going on with our United for Success Town Hall and some of the work you're going to hear about over the coming weeks.
We're excited to bring our community together on Thursday, November the 2nd for United for Success Town Hall. During this meeting, we'll be celebrating some of our work and growth across Nelson County schools. So, Mr. Bradley, can you tell us a little bit about some of our celebrations and growth?
You know, the last year has provided so much for us to celebrate the Nelson County schools. Not only have our teachers united together this summer during Leadership Pathways, but we see that work of teachers coming together, bringing so much to our classrooms, especially over the past 6 months. This week, the Kentucky State Assessment scores also come out. And while we'll be talking about some of those assessments and the growth we've seen at many of our schools over the past year, we'll also be looking beyond that at some of our local assessments, some of the national assessments that our students have taken. So we have a lot to celebrate again. Just recently, this past year, our high schools, for example, were ranked top in the state for transition readiness, which is a part of the conversation around post-secondary readiness and how our students are transitioning to life. And that's something we've continued to focus on in the Nelson County schools, something we're very proud of. Our elementary schools grew by 15 points, nearly 15 points in last year's assessments, as well as our high schools. And while our middle school students on the state testing didn't perform as well as we'd hoped, their national assessments were above state and national average, which was, I think, really speaks to the work going on in our schools around the way we're thinking about next-gen skills. So as you think about the work of community-based accountability and some of the work that you've seen, what do you expect to see on Thursday at Foster Heights?
Well, it's actually been a year ago that we brought all of our community partners, students, families, employers together to really start the conversation around what benefits do we want to provide our students and leaders in the Nelson County schools. So on Thursday, we'll spend some time reviewing our data and some of the action steps that we've taken. So we'll be focusing on how are our students transitioning from high school into adult life. So we'll be looking at some of that data. We'll be looking at some student safety and well-being data, and then focusing on the academic growth of our students. So we'll be looking at some of the elementary results that we've received around that, and then the work going on in our high schools.
I think it's important that we continue to have a conversation around local accountability because it looks beyond just a 6-month lag measure that we see in state tests. We've talked quite a bit over the past year, 2 years, around being very cautious with the mousetrap of state testing. If we think about that conversation, it's really when we align all of our resources to that one thing, which is state testing, and that thing continues to shift and evolve, we really lose a local sense of identity, we lose a local sense of purpose and value, and that's really what community-based accountability is all about. I think in the same way for our students, we have to be thinking about the long-term interest in their goals for learners. And I think that, you know, I played basketball as a student. I would equate state testing, when you get your results back 6 months later, to playing a basketball game really without a rim. It's kind of, you have a backboard, you keep shooting at it and you're hoping for the best, and then 6 months later they tell you the score and you're like, oh, okay, it doesn't mean as much. And I think that immediate feedback is what we're looking for in our local assessments. That's what we're looking for in our weekly signaling process. And I think that we want to continue to find those ways for our students to find that sense of significance and value in our work. We know we have a lot of work to do as we continue to grow as a school district, but our teachers are more united than ever on that front. And we're so proud of the work going on in our schools. So Ms. Arnold, we've been at this work around community-based accountability for the last year. What is it that families should also expect in the next couple weeks in school?
So following our town hall, we will be releasing our district dashboard, which gives a big picture overview of the data and student achievement across Nelson County schools from a broad picture. But then our local schools will also be releasing a dashboard so you can learn about what's happening at your child's school. So excited to see how those dashboards come together and being able to celebrate locally the growth of our students and leaders across the district.